A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. Well, I'm busy painting the Christmas Eve sign. It says, Jumbo Monstrous Christmas Party at Duffy's Tavern. Dancing, entertainment, favors for ladies, 8-course dinner, Charles Coburn as Santa Claus, price per couple $1. Huh? Well, I know the price is silly, but it's Christmas Eve, so let's clip him a little bit. Yeah, that's right, Duffy. Charles Coburn, the big, portly gentleman with the sharp tongue, you know, sort of a bloated Clifton Webb. Yeah, very distinguished and aristocratic looking, and guess what he wears? Well, what does a gentleman look through with only one eye? No, not a keyhole. Coburn wears a monocle, you know. It's just like them Englishmen, only instead of a lip, it helps him keep a stiff upper eye. Why'd I ask him to come down? Well, you know, for the Christmas party, we're going to need somebody to play Santa Claus. And, you know, things is a little slow in Hollywood, so I figure for a few bucks and a free meal, he'll jump at the chance. Yeah. Okay, I'll call you back, Duffy. Now, Eddie, leave us make the joint real nice and Christmassy, huh? All red and green.
Well, I already started.
How?
I rearranged the free lunch.
Oh, good. What did you use for red?
Tomatoes.
Uh-huh. What did you use for the green?
The liverwurst.
That's such a deep green. How come you didn't use the lettuce?
Well, that's purple. I'm saving that for Easter.
Well, when you get finished, I think I have another cute little Yuletide touch, Eddie. You know them reminders we send to our delinquent accounts, the ones where we say, pay off in 10 days, you swindling skunk, or we'll throw you in the clink?
Yeah.
Get this. With each letter, I'm enclosing a sprig of holly. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, Eddie, hand me a cake of soap, huh?
Soap?
Yeah, soap.
You got a new girl?
No.
Well, then what do you want with soap?
Well, I want to write a poem on the mirror. You know, me annual Christmas poem.
Oh, you got a new one.
Yep, and this one's terrific, Eddie. You know, in the past, I have always used iambic pentameter. But this year, I felt more in a trochee mood. And it came out much better.
What's a trochee?
You use more colons. Would you like to hear the poem, Eddie?
Have I got any choice?
No.
Yes.
Okay, listen. Merry Christmas to yous all. Be of right cheer and joyous. Leave us Yule a log on the fire, and leave not naught annoy us. Come lift your beakers and quaff us a skull. Chris Kringle's abroad in the snow. I quaff, lads, and laugh, lads. Ha ha, hee hee, ho ho. Well, Eddie, what do you think of it?
Ha ha, hee hee, ho ho.
In other words?
In other words, it'll go beautifully with that cracked mirror.
Eddie, give me that soap, and while I'm writing the poem, I want you to hang up them wreaths here.
Where'll I hang them?
Well, leave one dangle over each table.
Well, that'll save time.
What do you mean?
After the customer's finished eating, we can lay the wreath right on his chest.
Eddie, don't be such a ghoul, will you?
Archie.
Yeah, Miss Duffy.
I have a message from Papa.
Huh?
He says that on Christmas we don't do much business here anyway.
Yeah?
So you and Eddie can take Christmas Day off.
Gee, that's nice.
And he says that on account of it's Christmas,
Yeah?
he'll only dock you for half a day.
Duffy, is it true that your father is learning to walk on his hands so he can save the cost of shoe leather? What a cheap crumb.
Archie, you just don't understand, Papa. He really has a very lovable character. It's just that he's so nasty, nobody notices it.
And what are you getting this lovable character for Christmas?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking of getting something that Papa and Mama could both use. Something practical.
How about a set of boxing gloves?
Don't be ridiculous. Mama and Papa happen to be very much in love.
How do you figure that?
They've got to be in love. How else could they stand each other? By the way, Archie, where do you think is the best place for me to hang these mistletoes?
Mistletoes? How many you got there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Duffy, why are you hanging 7 mistletoes?
Out of respect to our guest tonight.
Charlie Coburn?
Yeah. I figure he isn't as young as he used to be. So wherever I'm standing, he won't have to run too far to get to me.
Duffy, I'm afraid you're making the wish the grandfather to the door.
Oh, no, I'm not. The last time he was down here, I noticed a very warm look in his eye.
Are you kidding? He ain't had a warm look in his eye for 40 years. Last time he did have one, it steamed up his monocle so he couldn't see what he was getting hot about anyway. And how come you're making passes at Coburn? What about that boyfriend of yours, that Rodney Haybinder?
Oh, him.
What's the trouble?
I just found out what he's getting me for Christmas. A $2 bottle of perfume. Did you ever hear of anything so cheap?
Just a minute. $2 for perfume might not be cheap. All depends. Is it a quarter or a fifth?
Archie, everybody knows that perfume doesn't come in quarts or fifths. This is a pint.
$2 a pint, it ought to be at least 80 proof. What did you expect?
Well, I thought he'd at least get me a fur coat or maybe an alligator bag.
Alligator bag? What would you do with it? You ain't got an alligator. Well, thank goodness I ain't got no problems about Christmas. I'm giving all my dames the same present.
What?
A nice practical gift, and yet very attractive.
What is it?
My picture. I was going past this snapshot parlor the other day, and I had 6 lovely portraits made. Here, take a look.
Seems a shame to waste these pictures on Christmas. They're such a natural for Halloween.
Hello, Arch.
Oh, hiya, Finnegan. Well, it looks like it's Christmas again, huh?
It is?
Yeah.
Seems like only last year. Hey, Arch, guess who's here with me tonight?
Oh,
Me brother Wilfred.
Wilfred. Is that the tall, fat, ugly one?
No, that's the mother. Wilfred's Lincoln's brother. You know, the black sheep of the family.
The black sheep?
Yeah, the one with the brains.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one with the high Q.
The what?
The high Q. It's the way they measure brains. In other words, high Q is a scientific nickname for a genius, you know. Liberally translated, it means intelligent quadruped.
Yeah, huh? What a bum break. No, the rest of our family are just average, normal people like me. And poor Wilfred has to be a genius.
Well, you got to take the bitter with the sweet, Finnegan. When did you first find out about it?
Well, the first time we realized he was abnormal was when we seen him reading the newspaper without moving his lips.
Well, leave us hope for the best. Maybe the kid will just turn out to be a ventriloquist. Oh, Duffy. Huh? You just sent me a package, but I shouldn't open till Christmas? It's a present? Wait a minute. Are you sure this is Duffy? Well, Duffy, I'm positively whelmed over. Thanks a lot. By the way, I'm putting my present in the mail for you today, too. Yeah, it's nice to know that we feel this way about each other at Christmas time. You know, that one backwashes the other. Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Duffy. Let me see. Eddie, what can I get Duffy for Christmas? Wait a minute. Europa. I got it. I'll send him one of me portraits.
I didn't think you hated him that much.
Now, let's see. I think I'll autograph me portrait by saying something nice to Duffy. Let's see. To my lovable employer, Duffy, in fond appreciation of all I have done for you. Signed, Archie. Wonder what he's giving me, Eddie.
What do you guess?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe some silk shirts, nice striped bathrobe, polo outfit. No, he knows I don't play polo.
And that would also eliminate the bathrobe.
Eddie, one does not play polo in a bathrobe.
Hey, Art.
Yeah, Finnegan.
Here's me brother Wilfred. You remember him?
Oh, yeah. Well, how are you, little Wilfred? My, you certainly have been growing.
Doesn't that strike you as an entirely normal procedure?
Well, that's how it goes. Tell me, how's things in school, Wilfred? Are your teachers learning you much stuff?
Archie, they're not learning me. They're teaching me.
Well, that's what they're after. Well, you're certainly looking fine, Wilfred. Very manly. Are you eating good?
Yes, I receive sufficient nourishment, thank you.
That's fine. Well, you got to eat good if you want to grow up to be a strong man like your Uncle Archie. You know how I got this physique of mine?
Malnutrition?
Yes, sir, and plenty of it. Yeah, always eat lots of bread, potatoes, pancakes.
Well, I'm on a diet that prohibits carbohydrates.
Carbo what rates?
Carbohydrates.
Oh, them. Yeah, tell me, what's them things again?
Starches, of course.
Oh, yeah, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah. What about them?
My position doesn't permit me to have starches.
Well, that's right, Wilfred. Starches ain't good for you. They make your stomach stiff. Tell you what, why don't you go over and nibble yourself some of the free lunch, huh?
The free lunch?
Yeah.
Very well. Morituri te salutamus.
What does that mean?
We who are about to die salute you.
A wisecracking dead languages, yeah. Finnegan.
Yeah, Rod.
Finnegan, get this Greek Milton Boyle away from me before I knock his block off. Moratorium salami Thomas.
Oh, Miss Archie,
Huh?
ain't that Charles Coburn coming in?
Oh, yeah, that's Charlie. And look at him, Eddie. What a perfect Santa Claus he'll make, huh? That ruddy complexion, that roly-poly figure, that plump bay window. The perfect Santa Claus, except for one thing.
For what?
That sack in the back is a little too low slung. Well, greetings, Mr. Coburn. Coburn, it's a distinct privilege to humble your gracious presence to the inner confines of this immortal sanctum. And...
shut up.
Well,
Where's Duffy?
he's home.
He's smart.
This guy's gonna make a lovable Santa Claus. Mr. Coburn, you're acting kind of strange. Ain't you glad to be here at the tavern?
Well, yes, I am.
Thank you.
At my age, I'm glad to be anywhere.
What do you mean, your age? You ain't changed a bit since I last seen you.
Well, you don't look so hot yourself.
Laugh a minute, Charlie, they come. Well, nevertheless, we're glad to see you on this return visit.
Return visit?
Yeah, you've been here before.
Impossible. One doesn't do this sort of thing twice.
Charlie, you was here about 2 years ago.
Amazing. I've been telling my psychiatrist it was only a dream.
So what? At your age, dreams is a lot more fun, ain't they?
What?
Sorry, no intent offended. I'm really very sorry.
How about introducing me?
Introduce yourself.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Coburn.
Sir?
I am Miss Duffy.
You have my deepest sympathy.
Likewise, I'm sure. You know something?
What?
You're handsome.
You know something?
What?
You're nearsighted.
Mr. Coburn, you think you could be happy with a girl like me on your lap?
Are you kidding? The guy'd be happy if he just had a lap.
Archie, you stay out of this. Oh, Mr. Coburn.
What is it?
Look where I'm standing. Right under the mistletoe.
So what?
Well, are you going to kiss me?
Tell you what. You hang from the ceiling and I'll kiss the mistletoe.
Incidentally, Charlie, come on over and take a look at our mistletoe. I'll hold off Miss Duffy with a salad fork.
Very well.
Good.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all this. Hey, look who's under the mistletoe.
Finnegan, you just kissed Charlie Coburn, and without an introduction.
Sorry, Arch, I guess I've gone Hollywood.
Charlie, maybe you should have settled for Miss Duffy.
Well, yes, at least she didn't have a cigar in her mouth.
That can be arranged.
Get out of here, the both of you. Imagine kissing Charlie Coburn, Finnegan.
Yeah, I guess I'll hate myself in the morning.
Well, Archie, don't think this hasn't been peculiar, but...
Look, Charlie, don't go yet. Tell me, what are you doing Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Well, we have an old custom in our family, Archie. I always take Grandma to the fights.
Oh, that's very sweet, but this time, why don't you let the dame go stag? Now, here's what I had in mind. We need a Santa Claus for our Christmas party, and I was thinking we got some whiskers for you that, maybe...
No, wait a minute. Me spend my Christmas in this rodent's rotisserie?
Rodent's rotisserie? You won't do it, huh?
Absolutely not.
You won't, huh? Oh, Miss Duffy, Finnegan, mistletoe time.
Oh, good. Don't move, Mr. Coburn.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle
not
bells.
that again.
Okay, then. Look, Charlie, you're dead. The joint is loaded with mistletoe, and you ain't got a chance unless I protect you. So what do you say? Will you or will you not be Santa Claus?
Ho, ho, ho. On, dancer, on, prancer, on, dunder,
Charlie, believe me, you'll love playing Santa Claus Christmas Eve. Giving out toys to all them little kids. Don't forget, you was a kid once yourself, wasn't you?
There's no record of it.
Well, they probably didn't keep records in them days. Come on, Charlie. You'll feel better just as soon as you talk to one of these kids and see what it's like. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Finnegan, is your kid brother Wilfred still here?
Yeah, his wife here, Arch.
Good. Hey, Wilfred, come here. I'd like you to meet Santa Claus.
Well, not the Santa Claus.
That's right, young man. Ho, ho, ho. Well, son, I'll be coming down the chimney Christmas Eve, down your chimney.
Thank you very much, but we have an oil burner.
Wilfred, look, don't you believe in Santa Claus?
Santa Claus is an ancient superstition and a throwback to pagan mythology.
Does that mean he does or he don't believe it?
Enough of this nonsense. Mr. Claus,
Yes?
I understand you live up the North Pole.
Do I? Oh, I mean, well, yes, of course I do.
I also understand that the average temperature of the North Pole is estimated at 70 to 90 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit.
Well, it does get a bit nippy. But then again, a fellow can always grab off a snort of...
Santa Claus! Wilfred, Santa only drinks soft drinks, of course.
Yes, although on occasion I will take a jigger of snow with an olive in it.
So, be sure that you're a good boy now, Wilfred, because on Christmas Eve, Santa calls on every good boy and girl.
How does he know where they live?
I thought that question had popped up. Santa Claus keeps their numbers in a little red book. Don't you, Santa?
Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. And some mighty fine numbers in that little red book.
There's some mighty fine numbers. Yes, sirree.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Preposterous.
Wilfred, you mean you don't believe in Santa Claus?
Archie, please. It's an amusing legend, but this road company, Edwin Gwynn, plays him so badly.
Now, you little grumpy, you...
Oh, please, Santa Claus, please go with a little boy's throat.
Then get me out of here.
Oh, look, Charlie, I'm sorry it turned out like this, but you can't let us down. You promised you'd be here on Christmas Eve.
Don't worry, Archie. I'll be here on Christmas Eve.
Playing
Santa Claus. Yes, playing
Good.
Santa Claus. With a nice big bag over my back. And you know what I hope to have in that bag?
What?
Wilfred.
See what you did? Now look, you lousy little genius.
Now, Archie, please, you don't actually expect an educated man of 10 to believe in Santa Claus.
Don't I? Look, Wilfred, maybe there ain't no real Santa Claus with no red coat, reindeers and something jumping down chimneys. Okay, but there is something that a kid like you should get wise to. Something that kind of makes people do wonderful things for each other at Christmas time. And I like to call it Santa Claus. It's something inside of all of us, kid, that if we're right guys, will turn each one of us into a Santa Claus. With every guy loving his fellow guy and working with him to bring good in the world and maybe peace. And, kid, don't tell me there ain't no that kind of a Santa Claus.
That's telling them, Mr. Archie, and say,
Huh?
this package just came for you.
Let me look. Hey, Wilfred, come here. Look at this. It's me present from Duffy. Now, Wilfred, here's what I was talking about. This package says, don't open until Christmas. But I want to teach you a lesson, so I'm going to open it. Now, you see, here's a guy named Duffy. He's mean, and he's stingy, and he's cheap. And yet, at Christmas time, he changes. And he gives me this picture of himself. Autographed to my dear employee, Archie. Where was it? Oh, yeah. So you see, Wilfred, maybe there ain't no real Santa Claus with no red coat jumping down chimneys. But I believe that...
Tavern, starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Here we go, friends, to Duffy's Tavern, starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. What am I doing? Well, I just worked out our profit and loss statement for the 1950 fiscal. How do the figures look? Beautiful, Duffy. The nicest shade of red you ever seen. Huh? Now relapse, Duffy. Please, don't get your corpuscles in an uproar. Because we lose money for 12 straight months, is that a reason to get worried? Nothing to worry about. We're just a victim of circumstances. We can't seem to find a customer that's got a thirst and a nickel at the same time. Huh? Grogan's across the street? Duffy, stop always comparing us with Grogan, will you? Believe me, I've been watching his place lately, and I admit a lot of people go in there, but believe me, I've seen just as many come out. Anyhow, it's a good sign when our business hits the bottom like this, you see. From now on, there's only one way it can go. Up.
Have you considered sideways?
Cut it out, Eddie. Now, Duffy, forget business and stop worrying, will you, before your scalp turns gray. I'll call you back. Well, Eddie, it's the end of the year now. Leave us take our liquor inventory,
Okay.
All right. Gin. 1 bottle.
Check.
1 cork.
Check.
1 label.
Check.
Brand.
Who cares?
Why?
Bottle's empty.
Well, so much for the liquor inventory.
You know, Mr. Archie, business ain't going to go up unless we do something about it.
You're right, Eddie. We got to find some way to revive our business. Hey, Miss Duffy, hand me that newspaper, will you?
A newspaper to revive our business. What are you going to do, fan it back to life?
No, Miss Duffy, I'm going to look for ideas. Maybe the newspapers will give me a hint what's ruining us.
But that's last week's paper.
Okay, I'll find out what ruined us last week. Let's see now. Let's see the financial section. Looks bad.
What looks bad?
Freight car loading's down 2%.
Freight car loadings? What's that got to do with us?
It's self-obvious, Eddie. Some of our less bourgeois customers ride the rods. A thing like that could cut into our out-of-town trade.
Say, what's this article here on business advice?
Where? Hey, well, what do you know? It's wrote by J.C. Crabtree. He used to be in business right here on 3rd Avenue.
An expert on economics?
He ought to be. He went bankrupt 3 times.
What'd he say?
He says, inflation hurts business. If all small businessmen would reduce their prices 1/10, the resulting reduction would be 10%. Hey, that Crabtree makes sense.
Yeah, you can't argue with logic like that.
Yeah, well, Eddie, you know, the way prices is now, people just can't make ends meet. So I think it's up to us retail merchants to at least meet their ends halfway.
Well, how are we going to do that?
Well, like that economics guy says, we're going to cut our prices 10%, and we're going to do it effective as of our next customer.
Why can't we start this week?
Why not? However, before we start cutting our prices, we'll naturally have to start cutting our overhead.
Overhead?
Your salary.
You can find it, you can cut it.
That's the spirit, Eddie. Yes, sir. From now on, everything around here will be 10% off.
Hello, Raj.
Oh, hiya, Finnegan.
Happy New Year!
Hey, wait a minute, Finnegan. New Year's Eve ain't till Sunday night.
Oh, no wonder that cop got mad when I threw confetti in his face.
How come you're celebrating New Year's Eve 2 nights ahead of time?
Well, it's easier to get reservations.
Reservation? Where are you going?
Oh, the store club.
And they wouldn't let you in a store club in a million years.
Oh, good. Then I'll have plenty of time to shave. Care to join me, Arch?
No, Finian, I'm busy on me plan to cut the high cost of living.
Oh. How does the plan work, Arch?
Well, let me put it this way. You got a dog, right?
Right.
And you got to wash this dog with flea soap, right?
Right.
Now, how much do you pay for this flea soap?
15 cents.
And how long does it last you?
Assuming I only use it on me dog?
Yeah, how long will the flea soap last?
Well, let's say I give the dog his regular bath every 2 weeks. Then once in a while I take one myself. It lasts about 8 months, Arch.
Why? Well, you see, if you save 10% on your dog's flea soap, over a period of 2 years, it would come to almost the price of a newspaper or a book or a magazine.
So what, Arch? The dog can't read.
That's aside to the point. I'm trying to explain to you the economic system. You see, economics is a science that the government uses to balance our national income against our national expense.
I see. How does it work?
Not very well. But they get around it, you see, by the Treasury Department declaring a fiscal during each 12 months per annum.
Except February.
You're thinking of judiciary.
I stand corrected.
Good. Now, normally, prices fluctuate, you see, but sometimes big companies get their cartels together, and they fix these prices so that they can't flux. Now, this is what is known as international monotony.
You mean monopoly.
Do you want to give the lecture?
Sorry, Professor.
Now, take money.
Yeah?
You see, the basis of economics is money, which was originated with the early Romans when they first took their public baths. Now, these baths was for the poor people. The people with dough couldn't get in. Hence the expression, the filthy rich. Yes, sir, there's nothing like an education, huh, Eddie?
Nothing like the one you got.
Thank you very much. But to continue, Finnegan, you see, since the days of the Romans, money has always been the medium of exchange. Except today, it ain't a very happy medium.
Well, why is that, Arch?
Well, the dollar devaluates less all the time, especially during an era of upward flux. So, as I say, since we are no longer on the gold standard, and since we are no longer on the silver standard, if inflation sets in...
What will we be on then?
I hesitate to say. Well, now that we've discussed high finance, Finnegan, do you have any questions?
Yes.
Right. What's the question?
What time is it?
What time? What's that got to do with finance?
Plenty. My mother pays me a nickel for every hour I stay away from home.
Well, your mother sounds like a very logical woman. Wait a minute. Hey, that's probably some dame calling me for New Year's Eve. Hello, honey. Oh, sorry, Bud, you got the wrong number. Huh? You want to talk to Miss Duffy? Brother, you do have the wrong number. But I'll call her. Miss Duffy, telephone.
A man's voice?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my. Hello, this is Miss Duffy speaking, and I'd love to. What? Archie, I thought you said it was a man.
Well, ain't it?
It's my girlfriend, Katrinka Yarbutz.
Even on television, she would have fooled me.
Hello, Katrinka. What? A double date for New Year's Eve. Katrinka, you got a nerve asking me to go out when you know I'm engaged to be married. Where are we meeting them? Uh-huh. What does yours look like? Uh-huh. How about the one you got for me? Uh-huh. How tall? 4'9". Katrinka, you got a nerve asking me to go out when you know I'm engaged. What? You'll call me back. Katrinka, please don't bother. Unless you want to switch fellas. Archie, when are we going to start cutting prices?
Why?
Well, if it wasn't for high prices, I'd already be Mrs. Rodney Maximilian Haybinder.
How come?
Every week, Rodney promises me that as soon as prices come down, we'll get married. The nerve of that Justice of Peace charging $2 for a marriage license.
Hello? Hello, Duffy. Duffy, I got the answer to making money. Yep. We cut prices 10%. It don't make sense? What's sense got to do with it? It's economics. Yeah, a guy in a newspaper says that if we all get public-spirited and cut prices 10%, it helps everybody. In other words, if Grogan sells beers for a nickel and we sell them for 4 cents, Grogan is dead. Huh? In that case, we should be public-spirited, huh? Cut the 10%, but don't tell Grogan. Duffy, I'm glad you see the light. Well, gang, the crusade marches on. We're starting with our right foot forward. With 3rd Avenue against it, inflation has to go. Right, Miss Duffy?
Right.
Right, Eddie?
Right.
Right, Finnegan?
Left.
What?
Oh, excuse me, Arch. I started off on the wrong foot.
Now, let's see. I called up most of the merchants. Who did I forget? Oh, yeah, Willamette the butcher. Hello? Willamec's Ham Hock Heaven? Hello, Willamette. This is Archie. Did you hear about the 3rd Avenue merchants cutting prices 10%? Well, what are you going to do about it? Uh-huh. Attaboy, Willamette. Good. Thanks a lot.
What do you say?
He says from now on, instead of 10 fingers on the scale, he's only going to put on 9. And now, about us, Eddie. Did you reduce the prices?
Well, I took 10% off the food and the beer, but I got one baffling question.
What?
How are you going to reduce the price on the free lunch?
I got it. We throw 10% of it away.
Why don't you be real public-spirited and throw it all away?
Well, we might do that, too. Yes, sir, this thing is really catching on, Eddie. Everybody in the neighborhood is cutting 10%. Except that Grogan, of course.
Everybody?
Yep, Colucci the fruit peddler, Nick the barber.
He going to take another slash?
Yeah, he's going to take another 10%.
Oh, you mean shaving lotion is out and plasma is in?
Yep, the whole neighborhood is behind us. And the guy I'm really proud of is Cavendish, the undertaker. He started what he calls the new Cavendish 10% layaway plan.
Well, what's that?
For every 9 customers, he'll throw in 1 free.
If he ain't careful, he's going to run his business right into the ground.
And Arch, there's another place they can take a cut.
Who?
Smith's Tattoo Parlor.
The tattoo parlor?
Yes.
How can they take a cut?
Well, instead of tattoo, they can tat one.
For a remark like that, you should go hang your head and let the rest of you dangle. Now, let's see. We got everybody...
How about the Bijou Burlesque?
Well, they said they'd like to take off another 10%. They can't figure out where it's going to come from. No, it means we got everybody but them and Grogan now.
Archie, don't you think we ought to let Grogan in on this, too?
What? Let him in? After that ugly rumor he started about our food? Imagine saying that when Callahan, the mounted cop, rides by the tavern and his horse neighs, our Hesh neighs back. Absurd, ain't it, Eddie?
Ridiculous. But I have heard it, Winnie.
But Archie, the newspaper man says that this plan won't work unless everybody gets in on it.
Maybe we should let Grogan in. The only thing is, who tells him? I can't talk to him direct.
Why not?
Violate the Third Avenue Businessmen's Code. It's like Macy's talking to Gimbels. Hart Chaffner talking to Marx. Like Hornon talking to Hard Art. If I deal directly with Grogan, it might lead to a strain in protocol.
Might also lead to a punch in the nose.
That's what I was thinking. I think we better do things on a higher level and maybe send an ambassador.
An ambassador, huh?
Yeah, Eddie.
So you got anybody in mind, said he, cautiously backing away?
No, we won't need you. We'll send Finnegan. But we'll have to dress him up like an ambassador, you know. We'll get him a tuxedo and a walking stick and one of them black hamburger hats. Let's see. Where could we get them?
Well, you still got that tuxedo in the back room you borrowed from Cavendish's The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. Get it out, Eddie. Hey, Finnegan.
Arch?
How would you like to be an ambassador?
What's that, Arch?
An ambassador? Well, generally speaking, it's a guy that says his country has something which it don't in order to scare another country into giving up something that it ain't got, so that both countries can agree to divide something that belongs to somebody else.
Arch, a point.
What?
Why don't they leave the countries alone and just divide up the ambassadors?
Finnegan, already you're talking like a diplomat. Nobody can make head or tails out of what you're saying. Now, let's see. Here's your first official mission now. I want you to go over to Grogan's and tell him to cut his prices 10%.
How do I go about it, Arch?
Well, like an ambassador, you see. You've got to use a lot of tact and diplomacy. First, you ask him to cut his prices, see? Then if he says no, you start off by calling him a crook. See, that puts you in a bargaining position. Then, if he argues with you, you tell him he's a lousy Tory. See? Then if he says cutting prices won't help his business, you call him a filthy, dirty liar. But above all, use tact and diplomacy.
Here you are, Mr. Archie.
What?
Cavendish's tuxedo.
Oh, thanks,
Shall I throw the lily away?
No, keep it in. It'll look like our ambassador's wearing a boutonniere. Finnegan.
Yeah, Arch?
Finnegan, here, lay down and try on this tuxedo.
Oh, boy, a tuxedo. Let me try it on. Gee, these pants are swell, Arch.
That's good.
Yeah, but there's something wrong with the coat.
What?
The sleeves keep folding across the chest. Do I look like a real ambassador, Eddie?
Yep, a dead ringer.
Okay, Finnegan, now take your hat and walking stick and get across the street to Grogan's.
Okay, Arch. I'll keep in touch with you by cable.
Eddie, I got a problem.
What?
Well, as soon as word gets around about this price cut, this place is going to be too small. Let's see. I wonder how we could break through that wall.
Just lean against it. Who's going to do the cooking for all this mob? Me?
No, I'll have to get an assistant for you, Eddie. Now, let's see. Who can I get?
How about Prince Michael Romanoff?
Yeah, good idea. I'll call him up.
And I thought I was being fantastic.
Let's see now. Hello? Hello, Mike. Look, you're an expert on cooking up gustatory delicacies, ain't you? Well, how would you like a part-time job? Money, no object.
If it is his object, we're dead.
Huh? Well, this is Archie from Duffy's Tavern, and we need an assistant cook. What types of food do we serve? Oh, things like roast breast of casserole, fresh Columbia River venison, with chutney, of course.
Under glass.
Under glass.
Under stained glass.
Under stained glass. Eddie! Stop disconcerting me, will you? What are our canopies made of? Well, the one out in front is made out of canvas. Oh, you mean canopies like anchovy paste? Right. At Duffy's, we don't use anchovy paste. When our anchovies come apart, we pin them together. Huh? What? I see. Okay, goodbye.
What happened?
We couldn't get together on a price.
What do you mean?
He says he wouldn't come here for $1 million. Well, let's see. What else do we have to do?
Well, with them crowds coming here, we're going to need more liquor.
That's right, Eddie. Better pour another gallon of water in the scotch.
Mr. Archie, if we water that liquor anymore, we're just going to be the middleman between the customers and the faucets. Why don't you just serve them the water straight? It'll be a lot stronger.
Archie, I'd like to help take care of the crowds, too.
Okay, Miss Duffy, you can be the cigarette girl. I'll get you one of them short little skirts to wear.
Good. It'll give me a chance to show off my legs.
On second thought, better wear what you got on.
Well, at least they can see my face.
On third thought, I think we'll keep the cigarette machine. Hello? Hello, Duffy. How many people in the place? You mean counting me and Eddie? 2. Oh, sorry, Duffy. No customers. The joint is empty. Yep, even under the tables. Huh? You got a report that Grogan's is doing a big business? But Duffy, after all, Grogan's got a better location than we got. I know we're opposite each other, but don't forget, he's got the wind with him. Duffy, stop worrying. Everything is going to be all right. I can't understand it, Eddie. We both cut prices 10%, and Grogan's getting all the business. What's he got that we ain't got?
Customers.
Yeah, I know that, but why?
Well, don't forget, Grogan's place is spick and span. Food is good and fresh, and the kitchen's nice and clean.
That's the trouble with business these days, Eddie. Dirty competition. I'm going to check this thing. Hello? Better Business Bureau? Could you tell me why business ain't no better? Oh, that ain't your job. You just investigate complaints? What kind of complaints? Restaurants that put horse meat in their hash? Water in their liquor? Who am I? Just a friend. Thank you very much. Hey, Eddie, let's look across the street at Grogan's. Hey, look at them over there. They're packed in there like fish.
Oh, yeah, they got so many they're throwing the little ones out. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes our ambassador.
Hey, Arch!
Oh, you're back, Finnegan. Tell me, what happened at Grogan's?
Boy, did I tell Grogan your idea.
Did you, huh? Yeah. Did you get him to cut his prices 10%?
10%? Arch, I got him to cut him 20%.
20%?
Yeah, I matched him double or nothing.
Oh, Finnegan, you ruined everything. The next time I send an idiot someplace to louse things up, I'm going to go myself. Duffy. Yeah, well, have a good time and he'll be with you next week.
It's time to leave Duffy's Tavern for now, but be sure to be with us again next time for another hilarious get-together at everybody's favorite tavern.
We take you now to Duffy's Tavern, starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern. Where do you late meet eat? Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. Huh? A pink elephant just walked into the room? Duffy, you better take another look. Yeah, that's what I thought. Just Mrs. Duffy in a nightgown. I'm busy now. I'm going over the books for 1945. Yeah, I'll call you back. Now, let me see here. The black ink is the liabilities, and the red ink is the assets.
What you doing there, Miss Archer?
Don't bother me now, Eddie. Now, let's see. First, we take the overhead. We can raise that up. Now, that'll make room for the fiscal. Let's see, that's $23,840. Now, next we take cash on hand, 85 cents. Let's see, that's a difference of, let me see. You push the 85 into the 23. Thank you, Eddie. That gives us 623. Now, carry the 3. That's 2436. Scratch out the 6 and carry the 3. That's 7623. Carry the 3. That 3 is a pest. That gives us 6. Decimal point 843,000. Eddie, I think there's a shortage.
Did you shove over all them zippers?
Every one of them. Holy cat, if these figures don't come out even, I'm really going to be in a hole.
Hello down there.
I can't account for such a big loss. I think I better go over the figures again.
Well, you got $2 million. Want to try for 4? Man, what a bookkeeper.
What a bookkeeper? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I've been doing this stuff for years. Perhaps you forget that I was only the head bookkeeper of the oyster division of the Fulton Fish Market.
I beg your pardon.
Of course. And the owner of the fish market, Sir Isaac Fulton himself, he used to think I was a genius. He'd look over the books and say, Archie, you've got the greatest fish head I ever seen. Boy, was I fast at figures. Like crazy lightning, Eddie.
Yeah, but did you get the right answer?
Well, you got to sacrifice something for speed. You know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe my mind is working too fast for my pencil. I think I better go over these figures again, just in my head.
Well, that gives you a nice, spacious working quarter.
Yes. Now, let me see here. 85 cents into 23840. Now, we take the 0. That makes it double 0. Now, we kill the hypotenuse.
Say, Art, you're ignoring me.
Oh,
I just come in to tell you that I got a job delivering orders for Colucci, the fruit peddler.
you got a job working for Colucci?
Only temporary, Art. His horse is laid up.
Glad to hear you working. Maybe you can pay us some of the dough you owe us.
Okay, Art. To what extent am I delinquent?
You are extinct to the delinquency of 45 cents.
For what?
For 6 dinners. And 12 cocktails.
Oh, but that don't come to 45 cents.
You forget the carrying charges.
Oh, no, you don't, Arch. I walked out of here.
Then again, carrying charges is bookkeeping. Now, tell me, how much is Colucci paying you per diem?
Per diem?
Yeah, per week.
Oh. Let me... Oh, he pays me a quarter.
Colucci is paying you a quarter a week?
Yeah, but it ain't as good as it sounds, Arch. I got to work 14 hours a day.
But Finnegan, the guy is jipping you. I bet you he paid the horse more than that.
Yeah, but Arch, I'm just starting. I can't compare myself to a horse with 5 years' experience. Besides, you know, there's a chance for a steady job.
How do you mean?
Well, you know, that horse ain't getting no younger. Say, by the way, what time is it?
It's 10 after 5.
Oh, boy, I better get back to work quick.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the rush?
Well, the horse only takes 10 minutes for dinner, and I don't want Colucci to think I'm expecting favors just because I'm a human being. So long, Arch.
Now, let's see here. Got to figure how much money is owed to us. Oh, yeah, here it is. Accounts payable. Bunchwager, the butcher, owes us 80 cents. Chin Lee, the French dry cleaner. 20 yen. There we are. Cavendish, the undertaker. You think he'd pay his bills after all the business he's got out of this joint, huh?
Yeah. It would just serve him right if we improved our food.
Here's another one. Joe Hennessy. Dinner for 2. 35 cents. He can afford to pay. I'm going to give that guy a ring. Hello? Oh, hello, Mrs. Hennessy. Look, I've just been going over our books, and according to our records, your husband brought you in here for dinner last Tuesday, and he didn't... Huh? That wasn't you he brought in. Ain't you a tall blonde with a red hat? Oh. Well, when he gets out of the hospital, tell him to drop in and see him.
Hey, what a diplomat you are.
Huh?
What a diplomat you are.
Well, Hetty, how was I supposed to know the dame wasn't his wife? They was fighting all through dinner. Now, let's see. I think everybody on this block must owe us money. Look at here. Spaganucci, $1.20. Kakalaski, 65 cents. Damianovich, Goldberg, Giannini, Marchneller, Epstein, Jones. Jones? What's this neighborhood coming to? Hello? Oh, hold the line. Miss Duffy, you want it on the phone.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, hello, Clarence. Yes, this is your gorgeous, beautiful doll.
Has he got the wrong number?
What? Oh, Clarence. But, Clarence, that isn't Theodolina Turner.
This guy must have a snoot foot.
What am I doing tonight? Well, I have a date, but... Huh? Either I go out with you or you'll kill yourself?
He'd be much better off.
Hello, Clarence. What? You think I'm what? Oh, Clarence, that's very flattering. But after all, you only saw me that one night.
That explains that. The guy ain't never seen her in the daylight.
Huh? Okay, Clarence, I'll see you at the Bijou at 8 o'clock. Will you, be in uniform? Okay, darling.
Just a second. Ain't this Clarence, the usher at the Bijou?
Yeah.
I thought so. In uniform. Ain't he the one up on the second balcony?
I'll have you know that he is now on the main floor.
Oh. They probably grounded him on account of his eyesight. Now, look, Miss Duffy, will you take your mind off guys? I'm having trouble with these books, and we got to straighten them out. Now, will you please explain your filing system to me?
Yes, it's very simple. I keep all the paid bills under P and the unpaid bills under U. It's what they call the PU system.
Yes, it certainly does. And by the way, there's a couple of paid bills here, okayed by you, that I don't understand how they got in there.
What do you mean?
This item here. Armed Forces Transportation, $5. How come?
Well, you don't expect me to come home from the Navy Yard at 3 o'clock in the morning in the subway, do you?
Oh. Miss Duffy, how am I going to explain this item to your father?
Well, Archie, you know, sometimes figures can stand a little padding.
You ought to know. Now, beat it, will you? Pad the figures. What an idea. What an idea. Hey, maybe there's some madness in our method.
Archie?
Oh, hello, Mr. Miller. Hey, maybe you could help me. Do you know how to keep books?
Oh, sure. Don't lend them to anybody.
How can I juggle these figures? I can change the 0 to a digit. Turn the 6 upside down to look like a 9. Then I can plug up the holes in these 3s so they look like 8s.
Oh, if I had the wings of an...
Wait a minute, Eddie. Don't be such a wise guy. The figures are right here in the books in black and white.
Black and white, huh? You better get used to them colors. You may be wearing them.
How could we fake these figures so they could come out honest? I got it. We'll take an inventory.
Inventory?
Why not?
Mr. Archie, you could list our complete stock on the back of a nickel without crowding the buffalo.
Never mind the comments. You just help me take the inventory. Now, you call off the items, and I'll jack them up. I mean, put them down. Now, first, open that box there and give me the count on the silverware.
Silverware? Let's see now. Teaspoons, 6. Tablespoons, 6. Soup spoons, 6. Dessert spoons, 6. Total number of spoons, 6.
Okay, I'll put it down. Spoons, 16 dozen. Now, the next item, Eddie, the dishes. How many finger bowls are there?
The finger bowl? Just them same two down there.
Right. 6 brass finger bowls. Now, next, china.
Oh, ain't they having enough trouble?
I'm talking about the chinaware, Eddie. Now, cups and saucers.
Okay. 4 china coffee cups, slightly chipped on the outside. 6 cups chipped inside. 4 cups, no handles. 8 handles, no cups.
China set incomplete. Only 116 pieces. Now, next the plates. How many pieces?
Just a second, I'll count them. 4, 8, 12, 16.
Plates. 2,000 pieces. Now, what else have we got? Oh, yes, the canned goods. Let's count the canned goods.
Including or excluding Mr. Moriarty?
Don't be so whimsical. I'm talking about the canned goods that will still be canned goods in the morning.
That's still Mr. Moriarty.
Look, I got to get this thing finished. Now, would you mind to please just count the cans?
Okay. Let's see. 1 can of tuna fish.
2 tuna.
2 pea soup.
Split.
No, just leaking a little. There's 3 tomato.
That's 6 tomato.
4 mock turtle.
Real or imitation?
I can't tell. The label is covered up by the condemned stamp. That's all on this shelf.
Wait a minute. What about that rusty can over there?
Where? Oh, yeah. Let's see.
What does it say?
With women who know their soup's best, it's Campbell's 2-to-1. Signed, Betsy Ross.
Just a second, Eddie. It can't be that old.
Oh, no? Take a look. That NRA eagle ain't no squab.
Okay, I'll put it down. 2 cans of vintage soup. Now, what's that jar on the next shelf there?
What jar? Oh, that's some pickled pig's feet that Duffy himself put up.
Duffy put up? Okay. 1 jar of pickled pig's feet, untouched by human hands. Now, leave us take the free lunch next, Eddie.
All right. Let's see. 6 salami sandwiches, 6 liverwurst, and 2 indifferent.
What do you mean indifferent?
After they get past a certain age, it's hard to tell.
Okay, we'll call them chicken salad. 40 chicken salad sandwiches. Hello? Oh, hello, Duffy. Huh? Is who here? The accountant you sent down to look over the books. But, Duffy, you can't. But, Duffy. Huh? Okay, then let him come. I ain't got nothing to hide. Quick, Eddie, where are we going to hide these books?
I don't know where you go hide them.
Young man, I would like to talk to you. I am Mr. Schmidlaff, a CPA.
Oh, the accountant. Oh, yes, we've been looking forward to your acquaintanceship. Hey, Eddie, the accountant just got here.
Yeah, speak of the debit.
Well, glad to see you, Schmidlapp, old boy. Have a cigarette?
Never touch them.
Bite to eat?
No, thanks.
Have a drink?
No, thanks.
Well, look, I got a couple of phone numbers.
No, thank you.
Schmidlapp, would you mind breathing into that mirror? I just want to see if you're alive.
My dear young friend, I happen to be a quiet, simple, happily married man with 2 little children.
2 little Schmidlapps. Well, what an occasion this is. Eddie, Mr. Schmidlapp here says he just had twins. Schmid, to this we got to drink a toast.
I didn't say anything of the kind, and I don't drink. It goes to my head.
But, Schmidt, you got to on an occasion like this. What will your answer be if someday them sweet, innocent, little blue-eyed, curly-haired cherubs come to you and say, Daddy, is it true that you refuse to drink your toast with us to Archie?
Well, okay, but just one.
Atta, boy. Here you are. To the two little Schmidlaps. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
You stepped on that last bottom.
Gee, this stuff isn't so bad at that.
No, it's pretty good. Here, have another one.
Oh.
Down the hatch. For he's a jolly good Schmidlap. For he's a jolly good Schmidlap. For he's a jolly good Schmidlap, which nobody can deny. You know, Schmidlap, by the way, what's your first name?
Bartholomew.
You know, Schmidlap, I used to be an accountant myself.
Oh, is that so? Certified?
Nope, past your eyes.
You know, this is the first fun I've had in years.
Yeah, huh? Look, Schmidt, come here. I got a little redhead over here on 18th Street, and, well, you're an accountant. You know what a round figure is.
Of course.
Well, this one is for you. And I know she's crazy about bookkeepers, so what'll she do for an SPCA like you?
Now, wait. No, I can't do it. I've got to keep this. I've got to keep the beast in me under control. After all, I'm a married man. Now, where are those books?
Right here, Schmidlap. Go ahead, examine them. Go on, get over there in the corner and examine them.
Ain't you leading with your chin there, Mr. Archie?
Yep, Eddie, just like a boxer leads with his chin to find out the other guy's weakness. This guy's weakness we find out is dame's. Ergo, so we frame him with a dame that is not his wife.
Well, suppose he gets wise.
Gets wise? What are you talking? This guy is so square he blocks his own hats. Now, let me see. What dame could I get to help us out?
Hi, Archie.
Well, if it ain't Seabiscuit. What are you doing here? I thought you was out pulling Colucci's fruit wagon.
Yeah, but I couldn't take it, Arch.
What do you mean you couldn't take it?
Well, pulling the wagon uphill was all right, but going downhill, it scraped all the skin off of me withers.
Well, I'm glad you came back. I got a little job here that you can help me with, Finnegan.
Oh, swell. Anything human?
Yeah, but I'll give you a whack at it anyway. Now, come here. I'll tell you what I want you to do. Hey, Eddie, watch the joint in case a customer comes in, will you?
Okay, Dreamer. Frame a man with a wife and two children?
Well, he's got me on the spot with them books, ain't he? It's the law of the jungle, Eddie. An eye for an eye and a dog for a dog. Now, you keep out of this. Hey, Finnegan. Come here. Now, you remember what I told you. You remember when you're supposed to jump in, don't you?
All right, Arch. As soon as you say giddy up.
Right. Now, just stand by. Hey, Miss Duffy, come here.
What is it now?
Miss Duffy, you see that distinguished-looking gentleman over there with the high glasses working on the books?
Yeah.
He just told me he goes for you. And you know who he is?
Who?
Only Bartholomew Schmidlap. The wealthy bachelor and playboy. Throws money around like a Confederate sailor. ought to spend it. You see that fountain pen he's writing with? That's a lifetime fountain pen. This guy will use it once and throw it away.
Oh, he's beginning to sound interesting. But, Archie, if he's so crazy about me, why did he ignore me when he came in?
Well, he told me about that. He's got what they call a phobia. You know, a female phobia. It seems that when he was a baby, he had a very ugly nurse, you see, who was cruel to him, so now he gets shy in the presence of ugly women.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah.
But I can't very well chase after him.
What's the matter? Did you suddenly develop a Charlie horse? Look, if you want a wealthy bachelor like that, you've got to go after him a little.
Well, how do you think I ought to approach him?
How to approach him? I don't know. You might tell him you want to write his life story for the Hobo News. Look, what's the use of me telling you how to attack the guy? You'll figure out something. I'll be right with you. Hey, Bartholomew.
Yes?
Yeah, no, I told you I had a cute little doll lined up here.
And I told you I wasn't interested.
But, Schmidt, take a look at her over there. Look at that construction. Plenty to go around, ain't there? Ever seen anything like it before?
No, has anybody?
A fair question. But where do you meet her? Hey, Toots, come here. Mr. Schmidlap, shake hands with Toots. Here, Toots, put your arm around Mr. Schmidlap.
By all means. Gee, you're cute.
Now, look, young lady, I'm busy with these books, and I don't want to be bothered.
Gee, he is shy, ain't he?
Yeah, I told you. You'll have to be the offensive one.
Well, that's no trouble at all. Come here, cutie, while I give you a little kiss.
Now, just a second.
Oh, come on.
Atta girl, Toots. Okay, I got him by the arm.
Let me at him.
Help!
Wait a minute, Miss Duffy. You don't have to go berserk. The idea is to take him alive.
Oh, shut up.
Help!
Giddy up.
Help!
Giddy up.
Unhand that woman, Bartholomew Schmidlap, you fiend!
Holy cat. Her husband.
So, this is what happens behind me back when I'm out working like a horse.
Wait a minute, killer. Don't reach for that knife. We ain't wiped up the blood from the last guy you killed.
So slit this homewrecker's ears from throat to throat. So mobilize him. How's he?
Look out. Look out, Schmidlap, before he jumps for your throat.
I'm going out to get my gun. I'll pump this white stealer so full of bullets, he'll never be able to get the lead out. Let me out of here.
Oh, boy. Are you in trouble, Bartholomew? But it's your own fault, you know. I told you not to make no passes at the dame. Boy, when your wife finds out what this guy shot you for, I'd hate to be in your spot. But if you could arrange not to mention anything about the books being short...
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
It's Duffy's Tavern, the Friday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, first in television, and by the makers of Anacin for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, neuralgia. And now, here we go, friends, to Duffy's Tavern, starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. I'm just going over the mail here. We got a registered letter from the Department of Sanitation. Yeah, it's about our garbage. They claim it's giving their pigs ulcers. Yeah, what a nerve they got, implying that their pigs is better than our customers. Well, I know they are, but I don't like to hear it from strangers. Also, we're in touch with the health inspector. Well, yesterday he put a rat trap in the kitchen, and when he comes back today, the rat has eaten the trap. And it's sitting there with a hungry look in his eye, waiting for the inspector. Well, it hasn't all been good news today, though, Duffy. The sad news is that Peaches Latour, the striptease, gave me back my engagement ring. Well, it'll save her a lot of embarrassment, of course. Now she won't have the finance company hollering, take it off. Yes, sir, and this has learned me a lesson, Duffy. From now on, I ain't taking the slightest interest in no more dames. No, sir, I'm through with women forever. You heard me, forever. Miss Duffy.
Yeah, Archie.
Hand me that copy of Esquire.
Esquire. Some way to forget women.
Miss Duffy, for your information, Esquire has articles, too.
Then how come you're reading it with a pair of scissors?
Happens to be my way of trying to forget.
Tell me, what happened between you and Peaches?
The same old story. She's just like the rest of them. All she thinks about is a family and a home and kids. Nothing but a gold digger.
Well, if you ask me, you're just as well off.
What do you mean?
Marrying a woman who struts around the stage wearing nothing but an off-the-shoulder fan.
Duffy, it happens that I admire Miss Latour for her artistry. Like I admire a fine musician.
Never seen you looking that way at Toscanini.
Well, that's all in the past. From now on, I'm through with the female species of the sex forever. As far as dames is concerned, I'm the world's biggest hermit.
Hey, Archie, look at that pretty girl just coming in the door.
Mother, buy me that.
I thought you said you were the world's biggest hermit.
I'm also the world's biggest liar. Well, what can I do for you, Mrs.
It's Miss.
I'm in. What can I do for you, honey?
Please, I don't allow strangers to call me honey.
Then let me introduce myself. The name is Archie.
My name is Marianne.
Hiya, honey. Well, what you doing here?
I'm looking for a man named Paul Papapopoulos.
What was the name?
Paul Papapopoulos.
Come again.
Don't you hear well?
Certainly, but I like to watch you pucker while you're saying it. Tell me, what does this Papapopoulos look like?
Well, he's very handsome. Tall, nice wavy hair, broad shoulders, and lovely brown eyes.
Honey, change that to blue eyes, and I'm your Papapopoulos.
Please, we're wasting time.
We're wasting time? Okay, in that case, leave us get married. Well, what do you say?
My answer is definitely in the negative.
Darling.
Oh, I give up.
Oh, Archie, you got it on the telephone.
Okay, excuse me, Marianne. I'll be back in a nonce.
Oh, waiter. Waiter. Don't they have a waiter around here?
How do you do? Hey, what can I do for you, honey?
I'm hungry. What's fresh in the kitchen?
What's fresh in the kitchen? The cook, she just pinched me.
I think I'm wasting time here. I'd better get back to work.
Pray tell me, where are you working?
The draft board.
The draft board?
Yes. By the way, what's your name?
My name? Yakub Panyaslavnik, age 103.
Sorry sorry to have kept you waiting, Mary Ann.
Say, boss, what was that telephone call?
Oh, that was the community chest. They wanted to know how much we needed this year. Well, now leave us get back to romance, honey.
Romance? But the difference in our ages.
How old are you?
20. How old are you?
A little older than that. I'm going on 24.
24?
Yes, I'm prematurely young. Yep, honey, I'm single, 24, happy.
But not for long. Say, boss.
Huh?
I have news for you.
What?
This girl is working at
So what? Suppose she does work. I ain't too proud to marry a working girl.
But what I'm trying to tell you is...
Yes, you get back in the kitchen, will you? When I want any information, I'll get in touch with you.
Just send me a card from Camp Dix.
What's this guy talking about?
So you're 24.
Yes, yeah.
Do you mind if I jot your name down my notebook?
Only 20, and the kid keeps a notebook. And look at all the guys' names in that book. Mary Ann, it's lucky I ain't the jealous type. Of course, I got to admit I got a little book, too, but it's different from yours.
You're telling her.
In my notebook, I only got 2 columns.
Yes, column left, column right.
Quiet, Asher. Yeah, Mary Ann, see, in one column I write down the dames I go out with that like the neck, you know.
And the other column?
That one is blank. You get it?
Yes, I get it. And with jokes like that, it's hard to believe you're only 24.
But I am.
Besides, you look so much older. Those wrinkles.
Oh, damn. Well, you see, I was born on a farm, and I got squeezed when I was an infant. I had to share my incubator with 2 fat hens. Besides, youth is only skin deep, you know.
You mean beauty.
Honey, you flatter me.
Well, Archie, I have to be getting back to the office.
Well, okay, if you have to go, but I hope I'll be hearing from you very soon.
On that, you can count.
Yes, you stop butting in, will you? Now get back to the kitchen. Well, Mary Ann, as me frat brothers would say, it's been ginger peachy meeting you. Well, goodbye now.
Goodbye.
23 skidoo.
Don't be smart, Miss Duffy.
You, 24.
What's so funny? It's been your favorite age for years.
Well, how come you picked 24?
Well, I don't know. 20 seemed a little too young, and 40 seemed a little too old, so I split the difference.
Well, that would make 30.
Miss Duffy, when a guy's in love, do you think he's got time for algebra? Now, thank you to stop throwing clinkers into the furnace of me passion. You just don't know what it is. When little Dan Cupid sneaks up on you with his bow and arrow, and he softly whispers,
Hello, Arch.
Tell me, old friend Dan Stupid. Cupid. Oh, Finnegan, you should have seen what was just making love to me. The prettiest little... Hey, what's that dirt doing all over your face?
I've been watching some guy dig a grave.
Oh. Well, this classy little 20-year-old struts in here. Wait a minute. If they was digging a grave, how come there's dirt on your face?
I just got out in time.
Well, anyway, her name turns out to be Mary Ann, and before you know it, a grave. Who was they burying?
Me Uncle Louie.
Your Uncle Louie? I didn't even know he was dead.
He ain't.
Well, then what did they bury him for?
A skunk got him.
In the case of a skunk, you don't bury the guy, you bury the clothes.
Arch, you forget. Uncle Louie's a nudist.
Tell me, ain't there nobody in your family that's normal?
Well, you've met me father.
Yeah?
I think that answers the question.
It certainly does. How is the old gent these days?
Well, I'm a little worried about the governor, Arch. All day long he sits around the house and broods.
Yeah, sits around the house. What happened to his job at the airplane factory?
Oh, it's still there. It's just that Dad hasn't got it anymore.
Oh, he was fired, huh?
No. It seems that Dad and the foreman at the airplane factory couldn't see eye to eye on a production problem.
So what happened?
Oh, Dad quit. And they're still putting the wings on B-29.
The story of Billy Mitchell all over again. Now leave me be, Finnegan. I want to be alone with me thoughts of Mary Ann.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Archie, act your age.
Okay, so I ain't 24, but by the same token, I ain't pushing 40 neither.
Maybe not, but you're sure leaning on it.
Well, I can see certain people just don't understand young love. Now turn on that jukebox, and if anybody wants me, I'll be in the back room.
Doing what?
Practicing the Charleston.
Here's a word from RCA Victor. For you people who are buying television now, that word is combination. Yes, an RCA Victor combination, which brings you AM and FM radio, recorded music in all 3 speeds, and famous RCA Victor million-proof television. Now, you can have all these in one beautiful cabinet for one beautiful price. Ask your RCA Victor dealer to introduce you to the kingly RCA Victor combination, the Rutland. With its doors closed, the Rutland looks like a furniture masterpiece straight out of the 18th century. With its doors open, it's like an electronic masterpiece straight out of the 21st century. So superb are its RCA Victor features: AM and FM radio, 2 automatic record changers to play all record speeds, and exciting RCA Victor million-proof television, proved in well over 1 million American homes. Yet, all these great instruments combined actually cost you much less than comparable console instruments would cost separately. Yes, with an RCA Victor Rutland, wonders never cease, but go on pouring out show after show, record after record. Not just for one person, but for the whole family.
While Archie's in the back room practicing the Charleston, let's listen to Cesar Concepcion, his orchestra, and the story of Old San Juan.
Que sigan con nosotros para que así viva, que yo me quedo aquí con mi plena en San Juan, que vuelen para allí, que vuelen para allá, que yo me quedo aquí con mi plena en San Juan. Me quedo con la plena, cojan todo lo demás. Me quedo con la plena, cojan todo lo demás. Mujeres como aquí, más dulces no las hay, y yo me quedo aquí con mi plena en San Juan. Bombas atómicas, aquí eso no lo hay, por poco estoy aquí con mi plena en San Juan. Me quedo con la plena, cojan todo lo demás. Me quedo con la plena, cojan todo lo demás. La plena, cojan todo lo demás. Me quedo con la plena, cojan todo lo demás. Me quedo con la plena, cojan todo lo demás. Me quedo con la plena. Ay, pero cojan todo lo demás, cojan todo lo demás.
Waiter.
Oh, sorry, Miss Marianne. I am very busy. I am having a little trouble with the free lunch.
What's the trouble with the free lunch?
It is attacking the customers.
Oh. And where's Archie?
Archie? You mean Junior? He's in the back room trying on his Hopalong Cassidy suit.
You know, I'm a little concerned about Archie.
Yes?
I've just been back to the draft board, and I couldn't find his name on our list of 24-year-olds.
Not at the draft board, eh?
No.
Try checking Social Security.
Well, Marianne. Yes, I told you she'd come back. The dame really goes for me.
Yes, and if you don't watch your P's and Q's, she is going to get you.
Archie, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Okay, Marianne, I ain't got nothing to hide.
Now, you say you're 24 years old.
Yep.
I see. And where were you born?
Right here in the good old USA.
Which at that time was known as the 13 Colonies.
Yes.
Age, birthplace. Tell me, are you married?
Are you kidding? Free as the breeze and do as I please. Yes, will you stop butting in here?
Let's check this. 24, U.S. citizen, unmarried. Archie, I think you're just the man I'm looking for.
Yes, I'm in.
You are not kidding.
Go ahead, Marianne. Ask me some more questions. I don't blame you for trying to find out if we're mutually compatible.
Well, how's your health?
Sound as a nut.
And how do you feel about hiking?
Hiking? Oh, I love it. Nothing I'd rather do than get up at the crack of dawn and go out for one of them real long walks, you know. I got terrific lung power.
Oh, yes. Very long-winded.
Thank you, Yasha.
Well, you do look fit. Now, what are your shoulder measurements? 27?
Make it 52.
And what about vision? 20/20?
40/40. Yep, Marianne, I'm a perfect specimen of youthhood. And someday in the future, when the two of us is all alone...
Alone? Archie, remember, there'll be others.
Oh, ain't that sweet? Already, she's talking about the little ones. Honey, about these others, how many was you figuring on?
Oh, about 1,000 a month.
Look, Marianne, don't take them shoulder measurements of mine too serious. Got any more questions?
No. I have all the information I need. Goodbye, Archie.
Wait a minute. Can I expect to hear from you real soon?
Oh, yes. Real soon.
Say, Archie, this letter just came for you.
Yeah, let's see it. It says greetings. What a funny way to start a letter.
It'll get funnier as you go along.
You have been selected by a committee of your neighbors. Holy cat, a draft notice. Miss Duffy, the Army must have got the wrong man.
If they got you, they have.
But where did they get me name?
How about Marianne?
What? My little dove, a stool pigeon? That innocent little cherub with them long curls and cute little dimples?
Yes, but take away those curls and dimples, and what have you got left?
What?
General Hershey himself. Archie, I have been trying to tell you Mary Ann works at the draft board.
The draft board? That traitress in civilian clothing. That Matza Harry. And after such a beautiful courtship.
That was no courtship. That was your pre-induction examination.
They can't do this to me. What does the Army want with an old duffer like me?
But you just said you were 24.
I know, but a letter like this ages a guy. I ain't going to take this laying down. I'm going to get a character witness to swear that I'm a liar. Wait a minute. I think I'll call me old family baby doctor. Yeah, he's probably got me birth record in his files. Hello? Is this Dr. Watson? The obstetrician? Yeah, huh? Well, this is Archie, former baby. Well, you remember me, Doctor? No hair, one tooth, and a blue ribbon? You don't, huh? Well, it was quite a while ago. Don't you remember holding up a tiny infant and slapping life into it? Huh? One face is the same as another. Okay, forget about it. That quack.
Say, Arch, I was just thinking about you being born.
What about it?
Maybe you wasn't.
What do you mean, maybe I was never born?
Maybe you was adopted.
Then again, even if I was adopted, I'd still have to have a father and mother to be born.
Well, you're more familiar with the technicalities than I am.
Then again, there's no time for idiocies.
Oh, stop worrying. Maybe somebody's just playing a joke on you. Right, Yasha?
It could be. But this is the first time I ever heard of the Army having a joke file.
Well, they got me with me pins down, so there's only one honorable thing to do.
What's that?
Tear up the draft notice.
That's showing them, Arch. Let's see the Army get around that one.
Here's something you should know if you ever suffer from the sudden pain of headaches, neuritis, or neuralgia. It's a way to ease the pain, often within a few minutes. A way that's incredibly fast and effective. It's Anacin. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven, active ingredients in easy-to-take tablet form. Thousands of people were first introduced to Anacin through their own physicians or dentists. But today, these tablets are in such widespread use that all drug counters have them, and anyone may enjoy their benefits. Next time you suffer from the pains of a headache, neuritis, or neuralgia, by all means, try Anacin. You'll like the convenience of Anacin tablets, and you'll be delighted with Anacin's incredibly fast action. A-N-A-C-I-N. Anacin. Ask for Anacin by name today at your druggist's.
Yes, Miss Duffy?
Another draft notice came for you.
Tear it up.
Archie, another draft notice.
Burn it.
Archie, here's another draft notice.
Throw it out the window.
I can't.
Why?
There's a recruiting sergeant on the other end.
That's right, I'm from the draft board. I'm looking for a man named Archie.
He's over there.
Where?
Under that table.
Oh, hey, you. Why didn't you report to the draft board?
What's that, son? You'll have to speak up a little. I'm holding deep in the ears.
Didn't you get a notice to join the Army?
What, join up again? Son, I served my country back in 62.
The Civil War?
Yes, sirree, by cracky. Seems like only yesterday I was in there fighting for the blue and the gray.
The blue and the gray, they were fighting each other.
No wonder I was getting shot at from both sides.
So you served in the Civil War, huh?
Yes, sir. Ever hear of Hippopotamus? I was there with General Sherman. Never forget the day Sherman said them immortal words. War is...
Yeah, war is...
Just then some darn fool shot off a cannon. Never did hear that last word. Yes, sir, son, done a heap of fighting today. Never forget that famous ride. Me and Paul Revere. Yelping from door to door, hollering, "Storms, storms, the red caps is a-coming."
You rode with Paul Revere?
Care to see me saddle burn, sir? Well, you can't draft me. Your 4 wars too late. Besides, I ain't even single.
You married?
Yep, dad blast the luck I am. I tell you, son, before you be going, I'd like you to meet the kinfolk. Oh, more.
What is it, Pa?
Oh, we got company. Soldier boy, this is more.
Likewise, I'm sure.
This is your wife? Yep, never was much of a picker. How do you do, ma'am?
Say, Soldier Boy.
Yes?
You know, you're cute enough to be in the Navy.
Oh, remember your age. Say, Arch. Well, if it ain't me little son. Who? Hi, Dave. Hello, Pop. Howdy, son. Well, what? Ain't you going to kiss me? Rather go in the Army. And this is your son? Yes, as you see, Soldier Boy, ours was a childless marriage. Say, son, how old is your father? 75. And how about you? You look like you might be at draft age. How old are you? Going on 86. What? Your father's 75 and you're 86. How is this possible? Well, who are we to question Mother Nature? See, Sergeant, I'm too old a fuddy-duddy to go in the Army.
Well, Sergeant, I see you found him.
Marianne, what is this?
Archie, I knew you were lying about your age, and I wanted to teach you a lesson.
Oh. Well, a learned me lesson. Now, let me learn you one, honey. How about a date tonight?
Sorry, Archie. I'm going out with the sergeant here.
Well, how about tomorrow night?
I'm going out with a corporal.
How about next night?
A private.
Honey, where's your patriotism?
Patriotism?
Ain't you got no time at all for us Civil War veterans?
Listen again next week, friends, to Duffy's Tavern, the Friday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, first in television, and by the makers of Anacin for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, neuralgia. Listen tomorrow evening for The Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall, the Saturday night feature of the All-Star Festival.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy isn't here. Yeah, Duffy, I said isn't. Well, isn't this correct, ain't it? Well, look, I gotta watch me diction. We're having a meeting here of Mrs. Piddleton and the Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society. Literary Society, Duffy. It's a club, you know, where people who don't know how to read listen to lectures by people who don't know how to talk. Yeah, kind of a moron's copy clutch. Well, the ladies is meeting here tonight for an open forum. It's kind of a public discussion, you know, this forum where, you know, if you don't agree with another speaker's opinions, you state your objections in a friendly, logical, intelligent manner, and then you clunk them over the nut with a bung starter. Yeah. What are we serving the dames? Well, that was a problem, Duffy. You see, some of them like hot tea and some like iced tea, so I'm compromising. We're serving them lukewarm beer. Well, I'll call you back.
Say, Archie.
Yeah, Miss Duffy.
Where's Eddie the waiter?
Eddie the waiter? Hey, that's right. He ain't showed up here for 2 days. Maybe he had an attack of sanity and quit.
Hey, Arch.
Yeah, Finnegan.
I hear Eddie escaped.
Escape is a harsh word, but you might, so to speak.
I was just thinking and I got an idea.
Beginner's luck. But what is it?
Well, I was thinking maybe I could take Eddie's place.
But, Finnegan, you ain't got no experience in business.
Oh, no? What about the time I had that dog walking route?
Well, was it profitable?
Profitable? Me mother used to pay them dogs a nickel an afternoon just to take me for a walk. So what about it, Arch? Would you hire me as a waiter?
Well, I'll tell you what you do, Finnegan.
Yeah?
Make out an application blank, see? Then, if we decide to use you, we'll call you up. On the other hand, if you don't hear from us, be sure not to get in touch with us at the earliest opportunity.
Thanks, Arch. It's nice of you to consider me.
Yeah. Now, where can I find a waiter? I got to get somebody before Mrs. Piddleton gets here.
Oh, that phony Mrs. Piddleton and her snooty literary society.
And what's wrong with Snoot? Happens to be a very high-class, refined club. I'll never forget how thrilled our customers was that night that Mrs. Piddleton recited Romeo and Juliet. It was out of this world.
So was Mrs. Piddleton after she got hit over the head with that beer bottle.
Yes, but if you remember, that's how she showed how genteel and cultured she really was. As she was laying there on the floor, with the beer streaming down her face, she was still quoting Shakespeare.
Well, all I can say is if you wanted a cultural meeting, you should have invited my club.
The 10 Jolly Girls AC?
Yeah.
But the 10 Jolly Girls AC is an athletic club.
It's a literary club.
Then what does the AC mean?
It means admirers of Kipling.
Well, if I know them dames, the AC means always chasing. And I don't mean rainbows. Well, keep them illiterates anonymous out of here tonight. We're going to have an open forum, and we've invited a very special distinguished guest to referee the discussion.
Who's coming down, Arch?
A very well-known person, Finnegan, a man of letters.
Oh, boy, Truman himself.
Not Truman. I'm getting that radio commentator, that H.V. Kaltenborn.
What a laugh. What makes you think he's coming here?
Well, I wrote him a letter a whole week ago, and he ain't refused yet.
Did he accept?
That's where I was cagey. Me letter was so worded that it didn't require an acceptance. Just a minute. Hello? Yes, this is he. I mean, him. Whom? I mean, who? Oh, you're Mr. Kaltenborn's secretary? He says, what? I should drop what? Look, honey, tell him we're expecting him tonight, so he's got to come down here.
Asking somebody like H.V. Kaltenborn to come down when we haven't even got a waiter.
By the way, honey, ask Mr. Kaltenborn if, at the same time he's delivering his lecture, he'd mind delivering a few hamburgers.
Here's a word from RCA Victor. Inch for inch, your best buy in television is RCA Victor 19-inch. Yes, a great many American families have taken this advice to heart and bought the thrilling RCA Victor 19-inch console. Truly the most exciting buy in television. So, when you set out for your RCA Victor dealers to become an RCA Victor million-proof television set owner, remember that the set you choose will be the very hub of your home for years to come. It'll be the source of a great many hours of exciting home entertainment. So, with this in mind, select the model you really want most, and chances are that model will be the kingly RCA Victor 19-inch console. Inch for inch, your best buy in television. Your 19-inch set will give you in a great big way all the matchless million-proof qualities of sight and sound possible only to the world leader in electronics. Yes, inch for inch, your best buy in television is indeed RCA Victor 19-inch. And with it go wishes to you and your family for all the warmth and good cheer of million-proof television by RCA Victor.
Hello? Nope, Duffy, we still ain't heard from Eddie. I'm worried the guy might have just walked off and forgot who he is. You know, a case of magnesia. Well, I'm trying to replace him, but it ain't gonna be easy. Well, sure, I got a sign in the window. But any guy that's got enough brains to read wouldn't be dumb enough to take the job. Well, all right, Duffy, please. I'm doing me best.
Oh, Archie, a special delivery letter just came. It's from Eddie.
I'll call you back, Duffy. Special delivery from Eddie. Let's see what it says. Dear Mr. Archie, at last I am free. What a wonderful word that is. Free, free, free.
Where is he?
In the Army.
Eddie in the Army?
That's what a guy gets for giving his right name to the draft board.
How's he like the Army, Archie?
Well, let's see. He says, after Duffy's Tavern, the Army seems like a breeze. What a life. Lolling around in bed until 5 o'clock in the morning. Only working 16 hours a day. Getting a check at the end of the month instead of an IOU.
Poor Eddie. How he must miss the Tavern.
Yeah, I guess he does. He says here, at bayonet practice this morning, every time I drove the bayonet into the dummy, I thought of Mr. Duffy.
How sweet. Even in the Army, he's thinking of Papa.
Yeah, it's very sweet of him, but we still need a waiter now. Who could we get?
How do you do?
Well, Yasha Panyaslavnik, the music teacher. Tell me, Yasha, how's business?
He is asking me how is business. With the money I am making from singing lessons, there is practically only one thing I cannot afford.
What's that?
Eating.
Eating? Well, suppose I told you can have all the food you could eat. Absolutely free. What would you do?
What else? I'd make a pig of myself.
Well, you see that sign in the window? We need a waiter here, and...
Just a moment, please. You have the nerve to suggest that I, the great vocal artist, Panyaslavnik, should serve pig's knuckles to peasants?
Oh, I'm sorry, Yasha.
You would hire as a common waiter the man who has given the world some of its most glorious golden voices?
I said I'm sorry, Yasha.
It's positively an insult. Miss Duffy?
Yes, Maestro.
Come, my little goosling. Make with the adenoids.
Okay. I am calling you. You are calling me.
Please. Stop the music. Archie.
Yes?
My tray and apron.
Just a minute, Yasha. Not so fast. You're a little over-anxious now. To be a waiter here, you gotta first pass the Duffy aptitude test.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, what does a Duffy waiter do if the hamburger he's serving suddenly turns green?
A Duffy waiter turns the lights down low.
Right. And what does a Duffy waiter do if a customer suddenly turns green?
A Duffy waiter quick collects the check before the customer turns purple.
So far, so good. Now, question 3. What does a Duffy waiter do when the rats chase him out of the kitchen?
A Duffy waiter is courageous. He goes back with a chair and a whip.
Yasha, you got the right spirit. Now start serving, and remember our motto. The customer is never right. If he was, he wouldn't be in here.
Okay. Okie dokie, boss. Okay. As my first customer, I am going into the kitchen and serving myself a steak. One tenderloin steak should be tender and hold the check.
Well, it looks like we got a waiter for our town hall meeting tonight.
Say, Archie, Did an army blimp just make a forced landing on 3rd Avenue?
Well, not that I've heard.
Well, in that case, Mrs. Piddleton is just coming in the door.
That's right. If it was a blimp, there'd be a number on the stern. Well, Mrs. Piddleton, welcome back to the tavern.
Archie, you dear boy. Let me look at you. Yes, you're the same, Archie. You haven't changed a bit.
Let me look at you. Yep, same old Abigail. You ain't changed a ton.
How droll you are. Well, Archie, once again we meet to soar on the wings of the intellect in our mutual quest for a deeper understanding of the cosmic verities.
Abigail, you're the cat's pajamas. Cosmic. If we ever had a cosmic verity around here, Duffy would murder me.
Archie, you're pulling my leg.
Legs the size of yours, one does not pull, one tugs at. But tell me, what are you dames discussing at the literary club these days?
Well, at present, we're concentrating on the evolution and development of man.
Well, I don't blame you. Culture's culture, but you gotta have a little fun, too.
Yes. And now, about our open forum discussion tonight.
Yes?
Has our moderator, H.B. Kaltenborn, arrived yet?
No, he ain't. I mean, he isn't. The old gentleman is probably slowly driving down in a hansom cab, you know. He's so old-fashioned and quaint. I mean, quizzing.
Well, you'd better not disappoint me, Archie, or I shall take our meetings elsewhere.
Say, Archie.
Oh, Miss Piddleton, this is Miss Duffy, a fellow culture bug.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Duffy?
Physical culture.
How do you do, Mrs. Piddleton? Tell me, what are you discussing at your club these days?
Oh, Shakespeare, Eugene O'Neill, Ernest Hemingway.
You see, Archie? They talk about fellas, too. You know, Mrs. Piddleton, I also belong to a club.
Oh, really? What's the name of it?
The 3rd Avenue Culture Vultures.
What an unusual name.
Very quiz-and-quainted.
Miss Duffy, tell me, in your group, is the trend toward or away from the classes?
Huh? Well, that question came up at our meeting only last week.
What was the answer?
We never found out. Just as the question came up, a sailor walked by. However, at the moment, we're endeavoring to devote our brains to fiction.
And if them brains ain't fictional, what is?
Quiet, Archie. You see, Mrs. Piddleton, in our club, we give an award of 2 points to any girl who reads a book, 4 points if she reads the book and sees the movie, and the big prize is 10 points. That's if she reads the book, sees the movie, and when the fella takes her home, she don't do nothing but discuss it.
Very ingenious. Which of you has the most points?
Emma Pfeffer, and she's the most miserable girl in the club.
Well, look, if you dames will excuse me, I got to get things ready for the forum. Hey, wait a minute. Excuse me a minute. Look, Penya Slavnik. Penya Slavnik.
You are demanding mine attention.
Look, I seen the way you served that guy that soup.
And what's to complain?
Well, I've seen waiters put their thumbs in the soup, but how do you explain putting both hands in it?
Very simple. Before coming to work, I'm not having time to wash.
You mean you washed your hands in the soup?
You want from me a high-class waiter to use cold water?
I hope at least before you served the guy, you had the good manners to remove the soap.
I'm so absent-minded. No wonder he was frothing at the mouth.
What have I got myself into here. Now get back to the kitchen and start getting the hash ready for tonight. Hello? Who? Well, it's about time you called, Mr. Calton-born. Pray, what has been detaining you? Huh? You can't come down? But all the ladies is waiting to hear you talk. Huh? Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you'll recover it soon. Thanks for calling, sir.
What's the matter, Archie? Why can't he come?
The poor guy completely lost his voice and he can't... Hey, wait a minute. He was just talking to me.
Well, I'd hate to be in your shoes.
Why?
Well, what are you going to do for a radio commentator to run the forum?
Archie, I've just examined the hash.
Please, Yasha, don't bother me. I have to think of somebody to be a commentator.
I find that the hash is not overdone. Still, it is not underdone. You might say, if it was less overdone and more underdone, it could be medium done. But I can only commit myself so far as to say that I refuse to commit myself.
Holy cat. A natural-born radio commentator if I ever heard it.
I fail to grasp the significance.
Tell me, Yasha.
Yes?
Have you ever conducted a forum?
Have I ever conducted a... Silly boy. Me, the great Yasha Panyaslavnik. And he asks me if I ever conducted a forum.
Well, have you?
Confidentially, no. Say, tell me, what is this thing, this forum?
Well, it's a kind of a debate where everybody sits around and discusses intellectual subjects.
You want, at my age, I should suddenly grow brains?
Either you grow brains or you get fired.
Shake hands with Einstein.
If you'd like to know a quick, easy way to ease the pain of a headache, neuritis, or neuralgia, then, by all means, try Anacin. Your own dentist or physician may at one time or another have handed you an envelope containing Anacin tablets. Then you already know how incredibly fast and effectively Anacin brings relief. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven active ingredients. For your own sake, try Anacin. Anacin is sold to you on this guarantee. If the first few tablets do not give you all the relief you want as fast as you want it, you may return the unused portion and your money will be refunded. You can get Anacin tablets at any drug counter. Anacin comes in handy boxes of 12 and 30 tablets and economical family-size bottles of 50 and 100.
Now remember, Yasha, for this open forum tonight, you're going to be a famous radio commentator.
There's bad news tonight.
Don't worry, Yasha. You see, whenever you get stuck on an answer, all you have to do is you say, I agree. But what about Yugoslavia?
What about Yugoslavia?
Who knows? See what I mean?
Archie, the ladies are ready. Has Mr. Calton-born arrived?
Mrs. Piddleton, we got better than Calton-born.
Really? Who?
Professor Yasha Panyaslavnik himself. You've heard of him, of course.
Who hasn't?
You haven't. I want you to meet him. Yasha, I would like to present the president of the Ladies Literary Society, Professor Panyaslavnik. Meet Mrs. Piddleton.
This is a woman.
Yasha, please, a little more couthness.
I beg your pardon. Mrs. Piddleton, how do you do?
I'm charmed.
I'm disgusted.
Pay no attention to him, Mrs. Piddleton. It's a debating trick of his. He's trying to throw you off balance.
This is impossible.
You see what a sharp wit I dug up for you, Mrs. Piddleton? Well, leave us begin the open forum. Now, our first question is... Hey, wait a minute. Where's me gavel?
The gavel?
Yeah.
I don't know. But what about Yugoslavia?
Yeah. Hey, the Duffy Town Hall meeting of the air is on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, our annual Friday night round table will now go into confinement. On tonight's open forum, we will discuss today's contemptuary problems. Sitting on our panel tonight, side saddle, of course, is Miss Duffy. Miss Duffy is our authority on maritime relations and on naval affairs. We also have with us the Honorable Clifton Finnegan, the famous authority on subversive politics. Mr. Finnegan has spent most of his life in the underground. And for our moderator, we give you that famous radio commentator and part-time lunatic, Yasha Panyaslavnik.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Shake hands. I wish to announce before we start that the opinions about to be expressed have no basis. Now the first question this evening is from a Mrs. P.J. East Orange housewife and retired sandhog. Archie.
What?
I'm dead.
Why?
Mrs. P.J. wants to know what about Yugoslavia.
Well, let's take a belt at it. Anybody know anything about Yugoslavia?
I'd like to take a crack at that, Arch.
Okay, Finnegan, go ahead.
What about Yugoslavia?
Well, I think that about answers the question.
I'm afraid I'll have to disagree.
I'll go along with that.
Finnegan, you can't disagree with yourself.
Why not, Arch? It proves that I got an open mind.
Well, close it up and leave us continue. Now, what's the next question, Mr. Moderator?
The next question comes from Mr. H.Q. of Hollywood, California. Apprentice butcher and dramatic coach. Mr. H.Q. has relatives in Europe, so he has requested that we only refer to him by his first initial, H. His question is, what can we do to control inflation? That's a good one. Let's see. What can we do to control inflation?
I say we should keep out of it.
Oh, an isolationist, huh? But I say to you, sir, what would happen as if in 1928 the gold standard should be abandoned by South America, particularly by Peru and Oblivia?
In that case, I say, quote, down the torpedoes and let us go back to Confederate currency.
I disagree.
You disagree with Confederate currency? Why?
Once a Yankee, always a Yankee.
I see your point, Mr. Moderator. But have you considered what Confederate currency is worth in Prussia? You could go over to Prussia today with $200 in cold Confederate cash, and do you know how much prussic acid it'd buy? Not enough to keep a family of 3 alive. That's where we're up against it. Do you have anything to add, Mr. Moderator?
Just one thing.
What?
What about Yugoslavia?
How come, Yasha? This is horse and buggy thinking.
Mostly buggy.
Who's asking you for your 2 cents worth?
Stop beating your gum.
Now listen, Miss Duffy.
You shut up, too.
Oh, your father talks to cops.
Quiet, please.
You shut up.
You shut up, and you too, Finnegan, before you get a punch in the nose.
Who's going to punch who in the nose?
I'm going to punch you in the nose.
Just a minute.
Stay out of it before you get a punch in the nose,
You
too.
hit him and I'll beat your brains out.
Wait a minute till I take my coat off.
I don't know.
Hear ye! And so we bring to a conclusion one of our friendly open forums. Well, tell me, Mrs. Piddleton, did you like our open forum?
Like it? Archie, I'm simply thrilled to the core.
You are, huh?
Yes. For the first time in my life, the professor has made me feel that I really know all about Yugoslavia.
Don't forget, folks, tomorrow's the day. That's right. Tomorrow, your nearest Buick dealer raises the curtain on the new 1951 Buick. From the Special to the Roadmaster, this Buick All-Star lineup for 1951 is the most exciting, most appealing of the new car season. Make a date to see these highway honeys of 51 tomorrow. Bring your family and bring your friends. Let them all enjoy the excitement and thrills of a Buick opening. And if you've been waiting for the car with everything, beauty, style, design, and performance, one look at the 51 Buick tells you this is the one you've been waiting for. So be sure to drop in tomorrow, January 20th, to see the new 51 Buick at your nearest Buick dealers. Listen again next week, friends, to Duffy's Tavern, the Friday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, first in television. By the makers of Anacin for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, neuralgia. And by your local Buick dealer who introduces the new 1951 Buick tomorrow, January 20th. Don't miss seeing the new 51 Buick. Listen tomorrow evening for The Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall, the Saturday night feature of the All-Star Festival. It's Duffy's Tavern, the Friday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by the makers of Anacin for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, neuralgia. And by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, first in television. And now, here we go, friends, to Duffy's Tavern with our guest, Joan Bennett, and starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the man just speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Big crowd here tonight. A whole bunch of familiar faces I ain't seen for months. I don't know. Must have been a jailbreak. Huh? Yeah, you should see the list of reservations. Second Story Jackson, Machine Gun Van Smythe, Slop Bucket Sal, Nellie the Safecracker, Joan Bennett. Huh? Joan Bennett, Duffy, you know her. Well, remember when you married Mrs. Duffy 25 years ago and she stood there wearing a lovely bridal veil? Well, Joan looks like what you expected to find when you lifted the veil. Yeah, and a beautiful face, too. A figure? Well, you know, it's kind of nice and slatsy. One of them debutante figures, you know. It comes out in all the right places. Yeah, and very refined, real déclassé. The kind of a dame that you don't whistle at. You can't, your tongue is hanging out. Well, she don't know it, Duffy, but tonight Joan Bennett hits the high peak of her career. Yep, she's going to have a date with me. Well, we'll probably take in a show and go to a nightclub, and naturally I'll have to pelt her with flowers and bonbons. And, Duffy, that'll run into quite a bit of dough, so I was wondering if maybe you could see your way clear to... Hello? I guess he wants to take it with him. Say, Yasha, where is that Yasha Panya-Slavnik?
How do you do? Say, boss,
huh?
You are calling me?
Well, if I holler for Yasha Panya-Slavnik, who else would I be calling?
I don't know. Yasha Panya-Slavnik is such a common name.
Yes, it is. It's just like John Smith.
That name I never heard of.
You've never been in the hotel business. However, what I wanted to tell you, Yasha, I just remembered. I owe you $5.
That is correct.
Yeah. Tell me, would you mind giving me an extension on that loan?
An extension?
Yeah, could you let me have another $5? Well, what do you say? How about it, Yasha?
Call me Captain John Smith. By the way, for what purpose are you wanting this $5 that I am not lending you?
Well, I'm planning to take Joan Bennett out tonight and paint the town red.
Paint the town red?
Yeah.
These days on $5, you won't even tint it.
Well, we'll see about that. Miss Duffy.
Yeah?
Look, I'm in a jam. I got a date with Joan Bennett tonight.
Joan Bennett?
Yeah.
What makes you think she'd go out with you?
Pray, why not?
Well, a movie star like her can get dates with men that are handsome and glamorous.
Continue.
And intelligent.
Yes.
Cultured.
You see, I can't miss. The only thing is I got to have $5.
You're going to take out Joan Bennett with $5?
Well, with a high-class tomato like that, you can't be cheap. No, sir, you got to go whole hog.
Hello, Arch.
Oh, hello, Finnegan. I trust you are well this evening, Clifton, old pal?
Don't act so friendly. I heard the conversation.
Oh. Well, have you got any dough?
Not until I get my allowance.
Your allowance?
Yeah. The 50 cents a week my father gives me for taking a bath.
You make your poor father give you 50 cents a week to take a bath?
Why not? My mother gives him $1 a week to take one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he splits it with me, and I take it for him.
Well, that sounds like a nice plain deal.
Yeah. By the way, Arch, what do you need the $5 for?
Well, I'm going to take out a dame.
You going to spend $5 on a dame?
Yeah.
$5 on a dame?
Yeah.
But, Arch, for that kind of dough, you could buy a catcher's mitt.
Finnegan, there's other things in the world to get excited over besides catcher's mitts.
You mean fielder's gloves?
I mean dames.
Oh, them things.
Don't tell me you don't like dames.
Nah. All I want to do is to go out with you, hold your hand, kiss you.
Well, is that bad?
I don't know. So far, I ain't let none of them get away with it.
Well, to each his own. Now, where can I get $5, though?
Arch,
huh?
What about the cash register?
Oh, Finnegan, you know I could never do a thing like that. But if I should turn my back and a friend of mine should...
Oh, I get it, Arch. Close your eyes. Say, Arch, would you like to borrow $5?
Oh, thank you, Finnegan. Wherever did you find it?
If I had the wings of an angel...
Now, look, Yasha, this is not Larson. The cash register is just lending me $5.
Yes, just like the trains used to lend money to Jesse James.
Miss Duffy, give me that phone, will you?
Who are you calling?
El Morocco. I'm gonna preserve Joan Bennett.
What?
You didn't give me a chance to finish. Huh? I'm gonna preserve Joan Bennett and me a table at El Morocco. Oh, it's great to be young and love with warm corpuscles in your veins.
And a hot five in your pocket.
Hello, El Morocco? I'd like to talk to Elmer. Oh. Then who is the manager? John Perona? Oh, he's an old friend of mine. Put him on. Hello, John. This is Archie of Duffy's Tavern. I'd like to reserve a table for... Archie. Tall with the pinstripe suit. Huh? No table. Well, look, I don't know whether it means anything, but a couple of friends of mine are associated with your organization. Well, there's a Mr. Ryan and a Mr. Johansson. No longer with you, huh? Oh, you're using an electric dishwasher now. Well, look, anyway, just for old time's sake, John, how about a table? Call you again around the middle of October? Nothing sooner, say around September? Too bad. I'm coming down with Joan Bennett. A ringside table, huh? Well, thanks, John, old pal. Nice to talk to you again. You see, Miss Duffy, there's magic in me name. And now, if you don't mind, will you watch the place for a minute? I got to go down to Cavendish, the undertaker.
Cavendish, the undertaker? What for?
Well, in case Miss Bennett wants to go formal, I got to see that she has flowers.
What a lucky girl.
Yes, thank you.
I can see her now in El Morocco with that wreath around her neck. Half of the people will think she's a movie star, and the other half will think she's just won the Kentucky Derby.
You're nuts, Miss Duffy. There's a very hip crowd at El Morocco, and I'm quite sure that they're aware that a filly never won the Kentucky Derby since 1950. Excuse me. Hello? Who's this? The barber shop? Oh, just a second. For you, Miss Duffy. It's your boyfriend, Tony the barber.
Well, tell him I ain't here.
Hello? She says she ain't here. Huh? Okay. He says to tell you he didn't call you.
Oh, that cheap barber. Tell him to go soak his head.
Hello, Tony. Go soak your head. Huh? Okay, I'll tell her.
What'd he say?
He says in the future you can shave yourself.
Give me that phone. Look, Anthony, you got a nerve calling me after that party Saturday night. Well, every time I looked at you, you were all red with lipstick. You can explain the lipstick? How? You're part Indian? Well, get this, Anthony. Our engagement is over. I'm not making any more payments on the ring. Goodbye. Archie, now that I've broken up with Anthony, how about going out on a double date?
What do you mean?
Well, you have a date with Joan Bennett. How about getting one of your friends for me?
Look, Miss Duffy, I know two kinds of guys. Them I like and them I dislike. Them I like, I ain't gonna get a date with you. And them I dislike, that much I don't dislike. Now get your mind back on business and watch the joint here. I gotta go out and dig up some flowers for Joan Bennett.
The next time you suffer from pains of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia, take Anacin. You'll bless the day you heard of this incredibly fast way to relieve these pains. Now, the reason Anacin is so wonderfully fast-acting and effective is this. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven, active ingredients in easy-to-take tablet form. Thousands of people have received envelopes containing Anacin tablets from their own dentist or physician, and in this way discovered the incredibly fast relief Anacin brings from pains of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia. So, the next time a headache strikes, take Anacin for this wonderfully fast relief. Anacin, A-N-A-C-I-N. Anacin comes in handy boxes of 12 and 30, economical family-size bottles of 50 and 100. Get Anacin at any drug counter.
Miss Duffy, which dinner shall I serve Miss Joan Bennett? The 50-cent dinner or the $1 dinner?
What's the difference? The food is the same.
Most of course. But for the $1 dinner, you sit closer to the stomach pump.
Don't be funny, Yasha. Just take good care of Miss Bennett. And don't forget, she and I are double dating tonight.
Double dating?
Yeah.
Whom, may I ask, is taking you?
Well, say, what are you doing tonight?
So sorry. I have a previous engagement with the stomach pump.
You men, you're all alike. I suppose if I was a movie star, I'd be different.
If you was a movie star, you'd be different.
Oh, yeah? Well, I've seen pictures of them movie stars, and believe me, when they get up in the morning, they're just flesh and blood, too.
You're so right, dearie.
Say, who are you?
I'm Joan Bennett.
I'll take the flesh.
Well, Joan Bennett, look at you. You don't look a day over. Pardon me.
Who are you?
Don't you remember?
Well, the face is familiar. Do you have a name?
I'm Miss Duffy.
Oh, yes, Miss Duffy.
Yeah, gee. I haven't seen you for 5 years.
That's right. And I haven't seen you for 5 years either.
Putting on a little weight, aren't you, dearie?
By the way, how's Archie these days?
Oh, about the same.
As jerky as ever, huh? Where is he?
He went out for some flowers. He's going to ask you for a date tonight.
Oh, goody.
Don't be flattered. He'll make a pass at anything.
Has he ever made a pass at you?
Well, let's change the subject.
All right, what'll we talk about?
Let's get back to men. Ain't it awful how hard it is to get a date? Honest, these days, one lipstick lasts me for 3 or 4 months. How about you? How are you doing?
Oh, I do okay. I get a date anytime I want.
How?
It's a cinch. I just tell him I'm Connie's sister.
How does Connie get dates?
She tells him she's Barbara's sister.
Oh, you gotta have pull. Well, I wish you could do something to get me a date.
Well, you shouldn't have too much trouble.
But I'm so fussy and hard to please.
Then find someone who isn't.
That's my trouble. I just can't even find anyone like that.
Well, I'll do what I can for you, Miss Duffy. Maybe we can go out on a double date.
A double date? Oh, gee, Joan, that'd be wonderful. Is it a promise?
Okay, it's a promise.
Joan, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting for me. How long have you been dilatory?
I've only been here for 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes, huh? Did it seem like a lifetime?
Well, now that you mention it, no.
Well, anyway, I'm glad to see you. By the way, these flowers is for you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll bet they were lovely.
Well, they may seem to droop a little, but that, dear lady, is because they are bowing their petals in deference to thine own far greater beauty.
A very pretty speech.
Thank you. Incidentally, their stems don't stack up with yours neither. May I place them around your neck?
Please, a wreath.
Stop worrying. In Hawaii, it's quite the custom, you know.
Oh, just a minute. What's this card?
What card?
It says, "Goodbye, Joe. Signed, the boys of Local 802.
That just shows it was grown in a Union hothouse.
Say, Arch!
Yeah, Finnegan?
Say, why do you say we go down to the ballpark and bat out some fungos?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm busy, Finnegan.
Oh. How about you, sister?
I'd love to, but I forgot to bring my mask and chest protector.
Well, some other time. Say, Arch, is this the day we're going to spend all that dough on?
Yeah, Finnegan, well, take a look. What do you think?
I'd still rather have a catcher's mitt.
Finnegan, you are being very impolite to a very famous lady.
Famous?
You've seen the woman in the window?
Have I? Every night across the alley. You sure look different with your street clothes on, sister.
Finnegan, please. You'll have to pardon Finnegan, Joan. You see, when he was an infant, he was a bottle baby.
But lots of babies are bottle babies.
Inside the bottle?
Finnegan, please. Your brains.
Well, what about them?
They went that away.
Well, they won't get away this time. Hey, you, come back here.
Oh, no. Look, Joan, leave us get back to business here. I don't know whether you know it or not, but it happens that I'm not married.
You're not?
Nope. I don't even have a girlfriend.
You don't?
Nope. I'm not doing nothing tonight, neither.
You lead a pretty dull life, don't you?
Well, look, what I'm trying to say is I'd like a date with you tonight.
No fooling?
Well, maybe a little. Well, what do you say?
Well, I don't know, Archie. I'm kind of afraid to go out with you.
Why?
Well, you're so devastating. Suppose I fall madly in love with you.
Listen, Joan, I think too much of you to let you get hurt. I'll tell you what, at first I'll only turn on half of me devastation. Well, what do you say? They're waiting for us at El Morocco.
El Morocco? Isn't that expensive?
You think you're going out with a bum? Look, honey, them flowers I gave you, not that I'm beefing, but they set me back a sweet $1.50. No, and that ain't 10.
Oh, say, Joan.
Yes, Miss Duffy?
I just got some of this new Lady Mandelbaum's face cream. And I can't for the life of me remember. Before you put it on, do you open your pores or close them?
In my case, I just leave them slightly ajar. What kind of cream is that again?
It's called Lady Mandelbaum's Hormone Cream.
Do you use much of it?
Oh, every night. First I put on the vanishing cream, and then I put almond cream on my lips, and then I cover it all over with cold cream.
Does it help?
Yeah, but she has to sleep with her head in the icebox to keep her face from curdling.
Be quiet, Archie. Joan, don't forget our double you-know-what.
I won't.
Look, Joan, this place is very unconducive to romance. What do you say we shove over to El Morocco, huh?
All right, Archie. I'll go out with you on one condition.
Anything you say. What is it?
I want you to get a date for a friend of mine.
For a friend of yours? And how? Give me that phone. Hello, Frankie. Arch. How's it? Atta boy. Hey, how'd you like to go stepping with a dame tonight? Huh? Just a second. Joan, I forgot to ask you, what's your friend's name?
Miss Duffy.
Frank, I'll call you back. Joan, tell me that me ears just heard a mirage.
No, Archie, I think Miss Duffy is a very nice girl. And if you can't find a fellow for her, then our date is off.
Got to get a fellow. Oh, Brooklyn Navy Yard? You got anyone there that's been away for a long, long time?
Here's a word from RCA Victor. For you people who are buying television now, that word is combination. Yes, an RCA Victor combination, which brings you AM and FM radio, recorded music in all 3 speeds, and famous RCA Victor million-proof television. Now, you can have all these in one beautiful cabinet for one beautiful price. Ask your RCA Victor dealer to introduce you to the kingly RCA Victor combination, the Rutland. With its doors closed, the Rutland looks like a furniture masterpiece straight out of the 18th century. With its doors open, it's like an electronic masterpiece straight out of the 21st century. So superb are its RCA Victor features. AM and FM radio, 2 automatic record changers to play all record speeds, and exciting RCA Victor million-proof television, proved in well over 1 million American homes. Yet, all these great instruments combined actually cost you much less than comparable console instruments would cost separately. Yes, with an RCA Victor Rutland, wonders never cease, but go on pouring out show after show, record after record, not just for one person, but for the whole family.
Now, where am I going to get a date for Miss Duffy? Oh, Finnegan.
Yeah, Arch?
Finnegan, would you like to do a favor for your old friend Archie?
For you, Arch, I'd do anything. I'd climb the highest mountain. I'd swim the deepest river. I'd stick me head in the furnace.
Good boy, Finnegan. I know I could count on you.
To do what, Arch?
To go out with Miss Duffy.
Arch, couldn't I just stick me head in that furnace?
Another one of me foul-weather friends. Now, wait a minute. Oh, Yasha.
At your service, boss.
Yasha, how would you like to go dancing with Miss Duffy?
Unfortunately, I am unable to dance with a broken leg.
Your leg ain't broken.
I'll break it.
Oh, this is broken. Look, Joan, can't we just go out alone?
No, we made a bargain. We don't go out unless you get a date for Miss Duffy.
But this is terrible. Who'd go out with her? This is a face worse than death. Wait a minute. I got a guy that might do it. Yeah, and a big shot, too. This guy makes a lot of dough. Oh, Fulton Fish Market? Mackerel department, please. Hello, Mackerel? I'd like to talk to Willie Hockhauser. Yes, the head mackerel scraper. You like Willie, Joan. He's a great guy.
Yes, he sounds like quite a catch.
Yeah, it came up the hard way, you know. Started out as a mere boy scraping sardines.
We can't ask Miss Duffy to go out with a fish scraper.
Why not? I'll wear a lot of perfume.
Quiet. Hello, Willie? Arch. Say, Willie, how'd you like to go out on a double date tonight? Well, mine's Joan Bennett. Who's yours? Miss Duffy. Okay.
What'd he say?
He says he'll scrape mackerel, but he won't scrape the bottom of the barrel.
That Willie Hockhauser. My father has bought his last mackerel from him.
Look, Joan, can't we forget Miss Duffy and just let you and me be a gaysome twosome?
No, Archie. Either get a date for Miss Duffy or you'll be a lonesome onesome.
But, Joan, you don't know what you're asking. 3 matrimonial bureaus have classified this dame 2G. Too ghastly. I don't know who to get.
Well, how about that florist friend of yours? Maybe he can dig up one of his friends.
For Miss Duffy, if the guy ever came back to life, the shock would kill him. Oh, no, we got to get somebody else now.
Say, Arch, what about Niles McConnell?
Niles, hey, that's an idea. What's his number again?
Wait a minute, Archie. That's not that dopey Niles McConnell that hangs around Hurley's saloon all day.
Yeah, I can't think of his number.
Niles McConnell, that bald-headed jerk with thick glasses.
Yeah.
With the cauliflower ears and the gold teeth.
That's him.
Circle 78300.
Hello, Niles. This is Archie. Look, I'd like you to do me a favor. What do you mean, no? I didn't even ask you. Oh, the guys from the Fulton Fish Market tipped you off. Miss Duffy, I'm afraid we are now fighting the grapevine.
Wait a minute, I'll get Miss Duffy a date. Let me have that phone. Hello, Boris? What are you doing? Swell. Meet us at El Morocco in half an hour.
Who was that?
Boris Karloff.
Wait a minute. Boris Karloff. That's a little too tough on Miss Duffy, ain't it? With all the actors, you know. Why Boris Karloff?
Well, as Miss Duffy says, we girls should stick together, and I don't think her date should be any better looking than mine.
Listen again next week, friends, to Duffy's Tavern, the Friday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama, brought to you by the makers of Anacin for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, neuralgia, and by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, first in television. Listen tomorrow evening for The Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall, the Saturday night feature of the All-Star Festival.